What up, YouTube? I am Dom Knight. This is Knight Talks. We're back with another Reaction Wednesday. Like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can get more content. Hit the bell so you don't miss nothing. Got a goal of 400 subs by the end of the February. Big goal with some size, but my eyes are on the prize. Can't do it without you, and I appreciate your help. All right, today we're going to be reacting to Kevin Samuels because he did an interview with Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is the chick who had the kid with PJ Washington, and you know, they kind of felt like she trapped him or whatever, and she was trying to, I guess she was asking for all this crazy money for child support, and you know, people were kind of looking at her like, yo, you took that young man and just took advantage of him for your own personal gain. But Kevin interviews her, so you know we gotta see this. It's long. We're not doing the whole thing. We're just gonna do, you know, maybe the first 15 minutes or so. We'll see what they're getting into. I'll link it down below if you want to finish it off. But let's get right into it.
Let's see. That I am a gold-digging, manipulative, evil, whorebag slut who has no real talent, who has sucked and fucked her way to the top, and is a overhyped, below average looking girl with clout who is only relevant because of her ass.
Well, damn.
In this moment, yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right.
No. Yeah,
it's not hard to fool me.
That's funny as hell.
'Cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Yes. Yeah. Cut. End of story. All right. Well, now see, I think one of the things that makes me a little bit unique is I don't come from what I consider to be the industry.
Okay.
Athletics, entertainment, music. I was on that side all my life. Mm-hmm. So the world you live in, the world you exist in, is pretty much foreign to most of the people who have something to say about it.
Right.
What do you think people get that point of view? I mean, because you said the first thing is that you are a manipulative gold digger.
Yes.
All right. Whose gold have you dug?
That's a great question. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm a gold digger, I'm a really bad one, because I feel like the reality is that I have this list of guys, high value, highly sought after men, and there was no financial gain. So I think if I was a smart sugar baby or gold digger, that there would be at least something physical in front of me, a car, a condo, bags, shoes, something, money in my account. That never happened. And maybe that's just where I'm foolish.
I mean, the first time I heard about you was the book. Mm-hmm. Everybody was like, oh, this, because people had said, hey, because in this whole ethos or this whole thing is like, first it was Karen Stephens and this tell-all book. Yeah. And then they were like, oh, well, Karen Stephens like story. And I'm like, okay, well, like to most consumers, I'm like, okay, whatever, she wrote a book. And from what I understand, the book, you told stories, you used different names, but all these people are celebrities and musicians and entertainers. And
allegedly.
Well, they're not accountants, engineers, they're not IT coders, they're not people who have 8 to 5s. Mm-hmm. Or are they?
Well, I guess that's the $1 million question, isn't it?
Okay, well, I don't know. So, gold digging, has any one of these men said you gold digging?
No. There's no supporting evidence. I think it's just public speculation. I like to call them fan theories. Very interesting. To be honest with you, my biggest thing is I'm from Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Country gal.
Do you know where that is?
No.
Okay, exactly my point.
No, but it's Mississippi, goddamn.
I moved from Grand
Even Oklahoma looked down on Mississippi.
Shit. All right, so
gangsta up in this.
I think for me is just I built my following from the ground up, and as you grow.
Why'd your following on Instagram?
Yes, because I started my Instagram account the summer of 2012.
Why?
Because at the time I was doing fitness, and I actually deleted my social media for the boyfriend
Was there some kind of soccer video?
I used to play soccer. I used to have a real talent.
Okay. So what was the first video that kind of launched you? Was back in 2012. You did fitness, because I remember hearing something about some soccer video that you did. Did it get a lot of views?
Yes, I mean, I would always, juggle, shoot the ball, but it would be in like short shorts, ass out, and then I sometimes would twerk in there.
All right.
So people loved it.
Of course.
I mean, if you guys didn't like it, well, I couldn't submit.
So it was your point to get started to be in fitness, or was it to be an IG model / influencer?
I would say at the time it was fitness. And then I was in a situation because the guy I was dating at the time, I was living in his parents' basement. And I remember setting my iPad up, taking pictures, showing my body, what would be considered kind of like IG model pictures now where you show your body, whatever. And I just remember saying people are gonna know my name, like people are gonna know who I am. And probably a year after that, probably a year and a half, I did a video with World Star Candy. I don't know if you remember, because you're so not in that world. But,
No, I mean, I've been on World Star, and I'm like, how strange is that? Me on World Star. And I'm like on one of the, anyway.
So that's kind of how
you went for World Star.
That was my goal. So when they asked,
up on World Star.
So when I first started out, I gained probably almost 100,000 plus followers from that video, and then probably 2 months after that, I got my first booking. So I used to be a special needs caregiver for adults. Right. So that was my full-time job before I stopped to be a entrepreneur, Instagram model, whatever you'd like to call it.
What would you call it?
Social media influencer.
All right. So this is something you went for. Because fitness, and for those who don't know, in social media, fitness is one of the most competitive, saturated verticals online. It is damn near impossible. In men's style, the largest guy is named Aaron Moreno, Alpha M. He started out as a gym rat. He started out on the gym, and he branched over into men's fashion because it's just so hard to break through. I know that because outside of fitness, then you get into beauty and then fashion. These are hard things to break into. Right. So typically, it's not uncommon for people to start it and then recognize that you're not going to get any bandwidth. I mean, believe it or not, I'm an image consultant and a fragrance reviewer, and I trudged along for 5 years and nobody knew about me until I decided to start talking about what my clients talk about. Yeah. So, but the point is, you decided to go for this. So you went on World Star and all this other stuff. Let's skip all the way today. Okay. If you could do it all over again, would you choose it?
Absolutely.
Why?
Hold up, before she tells us why, absolutely she gonna choose it. Has she gotten some negative backlash? Has some things maybe come from it that she doesn't like? Sure. But the girl is famous. The girl has money. The girl is living the life that she envisioned for herself. She sat in that basement and she said, hey, I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna be somebody that people know. And she went for it, and look where she's at. You can hate her all you want. You can not like the way she operates and moves with the things that she does, but I respect the hustle and the grind. I respect the fact that she saw a goal and chased it and achieved it, put the work in. That's what life's about. You got to do that, but all good things, they come with their consequences too, but I guarantee you she doesn't regret anything. Let's continue.
Being honest, I feel.
Well, we're going to get honest either way.
I would say that there's a lot of privilege that comes with this. You get to skip the line. And once you reach a certain level of status, really the world is your oyster. As far as, I've gotten acting roles simply just off my Instagram. Really been able to do different speaking engagements. I've been able to just not have actually have to clock in since 2013. So I would say yes, because I don't really take direction that well. I feel like Here you go. I'm self-aware. I'm self-aware.
In 2022, self-awareness is sexy. Remember, boys and girls. That's what 2022 is about. Self-awareness is sexy.
And I feel like in this position, I've gotten to make more money than I would have made being a special needs caregiver. And in turn, being able to not only kind of put myself ahead, but also help people around me. So I have been the breadwinner for my family. And to be honest too, because I remember, the first time I watched you was when you were sitting out with those girls, the OnlyFans stuff. And they all got up and everyone was so mad and whatever. I feel like I've made a lot of money and I've blown a lot of money.
Okay.
And it's taken blowing money and really having my son and seeing reality for what it truly is, to be more mindful of it and start thinking long term. That's sad, but it's like, that's what it just took.
Well, okay, so.
Lots to unpack.
Well, no, because I'm kind of experiencing that myself, because coming from a long working life, yeah, there are a lot of advantages that comes along with being in the public eye, but there also comes a lot of limitations.
Yes.
And those are different for men than for women.
Agreed. There's a privilege that we have to acknowledge for women.
Well,
it's easier in some areas.
Well, I mean, okay. So while you do get to skip the line, all this other kind of stuff, you also get labeled for doing things that would only make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you relish the label or do you resent the label?
I think you have to take the good and the bad. So you can't be like, I love skipping the line, but I hate when people call me a whore. It's like, who cares?
Hey, she right there.
I've been called worse by better.
So, and one of the things that I think is interesting is anytime I see you, I always see the industry. And it's like, you guys live in an echo chamber. It's an echo chamber because most of the people who watch World Star would never have a chance to be sitting here talking to you or be you.
Right.
So this is conspicuous consumption at the digital level. You get privileges from it, but there's a real cost. What's the cost that you've paid in your personal life? In your professional life or your personal life? Take either one.
I would say if I wanted to be a teacher, that I would most likely never get hired anywhere. So that's a reality that you have to accept. I also think dating, because I'm so vocal, and just because it's like, it's hot under these lights, So it's like, I think dating has probably been the hardest thing for me. A lot of my friends, we just don't have the same problems, it seems like.
Hold up before they continue. Man, she's keeping it real. Cause yeah. I made one of my very, very, very first videos I made was a video about women using OnlyFans. And one thing I brought up is some of the things these women are doing online is going to affect some of the things that they can do in the future if they have a change of heart. So I said the same thing in my OnlyFans video. She knows, like, if I want to go be a teacher, do something like that, not happening. Not happening. But she brought up dating, and come on, I believe her 1,000%. Excuse me. Dating is probably extremely hard for this woman. All these guys know who you are. They know what you've done. They've seen your body. Sure, they may find you extremely attractive and want to be intimate with you. But not that many guys are really going to want to take a girl like this serious. Let's just keep it real. She's a internet person. She's a IG model, showing her booty all online and showing it all. And now she got this kid that people thinks, she had to trap somebody, and her reputation just isn't that great. It's just not that great. So yeah, I bet dating is hard. And even aside from all that, it's probably hard dating because a lot of guys that would be willing to date her feel like they'd be inferior to her. So it is what it is. Let's continue.
Dating.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest with you, it's kind of like you almost have to keep it going, because if I'm Brittany Renner and I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and let's say I fall off and now I'm working at Target, it's not that that's a failure, but there would be ridicule that comes behind that. So I feel like trying to have maybe more sort of a everyday career going from this realm to this realm, I think it would be a tough transition. I don't think people would be supportive of it.
I think one of the questions that more people ask than anything else is how much of this is real and how much of it's to keep it going. And as somebody who sees the world from a different angle, do you have an end goal?
My end goal would be to utilize my youth, my beauty, this position, to create opportunities in the now for the long term. So podcasting, hair company, skincare, like certain things that I feel like, what is that? What does that mean? Because it looked like you were processing a thought when I was talking.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, I think my biggest end goal is one of my bigger end goals is to have my own podcast. I think one of my favorite people I loved watching in high school even was Wendy Williams. And I love that she was just so raw, so real. People can say whatever they want about her, but she speaks her mind. So I think that especially in the podcasting space, and even just, Wendy's older, there's not really a female voice that isn't just like politics, that's not covering the things that I feel like I'm not afraid to cover. So I just think right now, to be honest with you, like ever since I had my son, it was the first, no, I lied. Because when I was pregnant, I used to watch your lives. And so when you would talk about, yeah, really helpful stuff. When I would watch your Instagram lives, you would pose so many questions that I did not have the answer to. I'm 29. And when I would listen to you, and people would get triggered, but I'm like, when you really sit down and you take away tone, you take away whatever people think about you, it's actually very helpful if you're willing to listen, but a lot of people don't listen.
So the people you've mentioned, Wendy Williams, and then even your persona, do you relish being the rebel?
I love it here. I'm free. I mean, to be honest, yeah, like this type of freedom and saying the things I've said and doing the things I've done on a public level, there's probably a lot of opportunities I will never get because of this level of transparency, which is fine. But I feel like if I'm gonna go all the way, it's like I gotta rock out with my cock out at this point. That's how I feel.
Like I said, she don't regret nothing. She love it. She says she loved being a rebel. She embellishes in it. That's what she is known for, and she'll embrace that title with all her heart. Bro, come on. Look at her. She got fame, money, simps in her inbox, all that. She don't want to give none of that up. And she's aware that her actions and the things she's doing will cost her opportunities later in the future. And she is totally cool with that. And you know what? I can respect that. I can respect that. She ain't complaining. She ain't complaining about it. She ain't complaining. She understands the game, and it seems like she's willing to play it. And I can respect that about her. Let's continue.
So, is there a model for what you want to be? Because if you mention Wendy Williams, okay, she has achieved a modicum of success.
Yeah.
But it's also, depending upon where you sit, there's a lot of downside that comes with that too.
Correct.
When you're 60, what do you want your life to look like?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's something I have been thinking about. I think one of the biggest things I've taken away from your Instagram lives is if it's not gonna be a man, then you're gonna have to make up that financial difference.
Well, assume that.
And I mean, a man is not a financial plan, but you're saying,
Well, assume that you already have more earning potential than you've had previously.
Correct.
Quality of life. What does that look like? Because I know there are a lot of women who are very financially well off.
Yeah.
Who I personally know
Freaking miserable.
they're doing what they have to do, And they don't have as many choices. At 29 years old, is what you want to do, has it been done yet? Meaning, like Wendy Williams, Oprah Winfrey, these kind of singular people. A lot of women will look at those women and say, "Oh, they're strong, independent." A lot of men will say they look very sad. I mean, that's just.
It's all about perspective.
Well, yeah, but it all comes down to what, when I used to teach my men in training stuff, I would say, gentlemen, life happens outside and life is about people. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that coronavirus crystallized for a lot of people, that when the world shuts down, what do you have? You can have all these different things, but if you don't have relationships, you don't have network, you don't have things to sustain you, then what's all this stuff? That's why, being the rebel has its advantages. I mean, who are you talking to? But what's the outcome you want?
I will say I haven't really seen kind of more so what I want to do. I think I just use Wendy Williams more as a, she speaks freely.
When you say speak freely, what does that mean to you?
Whatever your truth is. I don't feel like a lot of people tell the truth.
Your truth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there a personal truth?
I think so.
Okay.
Because if we're in a relationship, someone could ask, well, what's the truth? Well, this is my truth, this is his truth. Mm-hmm. There's somewhere, it's in the middle somewhere. I can only really say how I feel, what my truth is.
This becomes a philosophical question. You know what happened to truth tellers, right?
What?
What happened to Socrates?
I don't know. What happened?
Look it up.
Well then, but the people who don't know want the answer.
Well, Socrates was one of the most wise men of his time.
Okay.
But they made him drink poison. Truth comes at a cost.
It does, but there's an even bigger cost when you lie, when you're not in your truth.
And I think that I hear so many people talk about truth, personal truth. There is a truth, but everything has a cost to it. And in this conspicuous digital consumption, are we prepared to pay all the costs that come along with it? How do we map all that going forward as a rebel? I've
had to ask myself, like, what am I willing to pay to be in my truth and to be the rebel? I think right now, there is kind of like a burning at the stake. Like that's how I feel. I feel like because I tell my truth, I speak how I feel, that I have been crucified. I'm a very easy target. So I think,
For example, what do you mean?
So I just recently did an interview with DJ Academics, and I feel like a lot of clips were taken and were like, she's a whore, she's this, you're just a side chick, like whatever the case may be. But I feel like because I tell the truth, my truth, it's just easy to pick on me. Like I don't really, cause like, okay, I mean, I guess to get specific, the recent situation with my child's father. He's 6 years younger than me. They're saying that I planned it. It was just some evil plan that I had in my mind, and I skated as soon as I had the baby, blah, 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 blah.
All right.
And the reality is I thought my person was 6 years younger than me. But that's not what everyone else sees. That's not for me to sit here and try to convince people that, like, what it was. But I think just living out loud, like you said, it comes at a cost. Whether you're talking about your experiences in a book, whether your relationship is public, there is a cost. Not like we're in a world too, even with you. I've listened to a ton of your messages, just watching you, and I feel like the point is often missed because people hear what they want to hear and they make up in their mind that you're a woman hater, you're this, you're gay, blah, 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 blah. That's what they say. So they're gonna take it and compute it however they may please.
So,
yo, I'm gonna cut that right there. All right, I think that's a good stopping point because they're about to get into it, but she did touch on the topic. All right, so I'm gonna comment on what she said about her child's father. All right, so he's 6 years younger than her. Okay, whatever. That to me, it ain't a big deal. Whatever. Some of y'all might think so. A lot of guys say men shouldn't date an older woman. He's 23, she's 29, or he was 22, she was 28. Whatever, man. That ain't that bad, whatever. But the actions and the decisions this woman has chosen to make over the course of her career. You wrote a book talking about how you have done all of these things with so many different men. men of means, men that have money, men that have status, things like that. So when you do have a child by young PJ and then you guys split up as soon as you have the baby, that's why people think you are in it for the wrong reasons. That is why people think that she had that kid just to extort that man for money. All right? Because of the decisions and the lifestyle and the persona that you have chose to lead online, that you have chose to write in a book. Okay? But I respect the fact that this woman has come out and said, I'm the rebel, I'm embellishing in it, and that's A-okay with me. And guys, you can hate that all you want. You can hate her all you want. I don't really care about this woman at all. But I do think she's at least owning up to it. Because a lot of women, just keep it real, they do shit and then they try and act like they don't. They try and act like, oh, it's not this or it's not that. She's like, you know, it is what it is. This is what it is, and I'm going to live with it. And I got to live with the consequences, and I got to live with the decisions I've made. That's a mature person right there, okay? That is. You can call it what you want, but that's a mature person. But guys, this has been a pretty long one. So if you made it to the end, I appreciate you. Guys, I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel to help me hit that goal. I can't do it without you. I appreciate you. Hit the bell. Those social medias right there. Follow me on Instagram. I'll be back on Friday with some advice. Peace.
Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up,